All right, Rob, we talked about the big trade, or we've heard Monty Bolaños talk about it. We asked Eddie House, the former Celtic, what he thought about it. Here it is. The Wizards, the Celtics, and the Clippers, 3-team trade. Kristaps Porzingis is going to Boston. Marcus Morris, Amir Coffey are going to, and the Clippers' 2023 first-round pick is going to Washington. And Malcolm Brogdon is going to the Clippers. Danilo Gallinari also will go to Washington to make it work financially. Now, Rob, look, nobody cares about what this means for the Wizards. They obviously are in rebuild mode, so they're not going to be relevant for a while, at least not next season. The Clippers get Malcolm Brogdon. That's nice. Be interesting, Rob, to see what this means for Russell Westbrook. It seemingly means that they're out of the Chris Paul business. So
I would agree with that. That wouldn't make sense, right?
Nah. And it also makes me think, look, if you might trade Paul, I don't think they're going to trade Paul George, but if they did, it could be for a guy that can help you now. But bringing in Malcolm Brogdon, Rob, makes me think they're trying to win. They're not rebuilding. They're trying to win. So, but I think most people see that the team of real consequence in this one is the Celtics. A lot of people thought they'd not only get to the finals this year, but win it. And now they add Kristaps Porzingis. Look, we know he's had his ups and downs. It seems like, Rob, we have to say this with just about everybody. But injuries have been a factor. Injuries have been his biggest problem. He is 7'3". He does play on the perimeter. But Rob, last year, granted, for a bad team, but still, he gave the Wizards 23 points, 8.5 rebounds on 50% shooting and shot 38+% from three. And he played 65 games last year. And Rob, he's averaged 20 like several seasons. So this is a big time scorer that the Celtics are getting.
But I don't feel like the Celtics are any closer to a championship. The trade doesn't do that for me. And I'm not saying, Chris, every trade is going to be that way. And, that's going to put us over the top for sure. But I don't know what to make of the trade. I don't. I get the numbers you told me. He played on a bad team. Somebody had to score.
But he has scored on good teams. He scored with Dallas. He averaged 20.
Yeah, right. I'm just... Do you feel better? You feel better
Yes.
about the Celtics? Okay.
Yes. Now, where I agree with you is this doesn't make me say they're the team to beat.
Right.
Like they're definitely winning the championship next year. But I think they got better. This is a good trade. Now, again, I hate to even throw out this caveat. He's got to stay healthy. But Rob, he is.
You have to say that, Chris. You have to.
It's ridiculous, but that's how it is nowadays. But he's a good player. Like, his problem has been, in addition to health, his attitude, right? Where is he at? He didn't particularly like playing in Dallas with Luka. Right. Yeah. But this is a guy, he can shoot the three. So Al Horford, when he hit threes, and he hit them at a great pace last year. I think he shot 45% or something like that from three. But they were a different team. And in the playoffs, he went cold for a while. But now you've got a guy that scores at a rate that Horford's never scored at. Even though he's not a great defender, he is long and can block shots. I think they got better. Now, again, I'm not saying they're the best team in the league, but they got closer to a championship than they were this morning, in my opinion.
I'm just not there, and I'm not saying that I'm not saying they got worse, but I just okay. We'll see how this plays out, how it works. They got other issues though, there's something, Chris. This year was the first year where, to me, it felt like they took a step back. They you know what I mean?
Took a step back.
Right,
literally and figuratively.
Right, but you know what I mean. They were a team that they're climbing that ladder and eventually they're going to get there. And then it felt like all of a sudden, are they going to win a championship together? That's where I'm at with the Celtics. Are Are they going to win a championship for sure? Like I thought they were, Chris, at one point, and I get how young they are. I'm not poo-pooing the talents of Brown and Tatum, and you look at the talent, and you look at some of the numbers, and it's eye-popping, Chris, and they got so much money tied up for the Celtics, they can't really add some other, like there's a lot of money, and you start to look around at the team, and, some changes need to be made. And I'm just not convinced that they're the overwhelming favorite coming out of the East.
No, they're not. They're not. I mean, because Milwaukee, let's see what they do, but they still have the best player in the conference in Giannis.
Right.
Miami is, love them or hate them, they're going to be there. You have to deal with them, and let's see what Philadelphia does. If I'm Philadelphia, I'm going strong after Damian Lillard. And so there's going to be a lot of shaking and moving in the Eastern Conference, but I do think they got better. And Joe Mazzulla, Rob, has to improve. You talked about they weren't as good this year as they were the year before.
Yeah, but they got what you call too. They have to go higher, Chris. He didn't have experience,
right? And they brought in Sam Cassell,
and they've done that now, and that's not his fault. This guy wasn't even on the first bench when he was assistant. Okay, right. So you move him from the second bench, Chris. He's not even on the bench with Udoka, the head coach, and you move him there, and then all their assistants or whatever are gone.
A lot of them left.
Yeah, they all left.
Yep.
And then you got a young guy trying to maneuver that, and look where he got him to.
I don't think they had
team was down 0-3. Huh?
I don't think they had a former player on there.
Which is crazy, Chris. Right. That's crazy. Right.
So now they got Sam Cassell, and they'll bring in some others. But, yeah, I think he will improve, and I think their coaching staff as a whole will be better. So there's no question about that. I still think, Rob, that they need to add – it doesn't have to be they don't need a great point guard because they have two great
So is
scorers.
Chris Paul on your radar for the Celtics,
well,
Chris?
I think he's going to want to – he's probably going – in my view, he's probably going to end up with the Lakers because his family's in L.A. But from a strictly basketball standpoint, yes, he would be great for the Celtics because one of their problems, they're not great in the clutch, not even really good in the clutch. And the reason is because they don't have a floor general. And it hurts them down the stretch because there's nobody to get the ball to the right guy. So Jayson Tatum and Jaylen Brown end up handling the ball a lot. And they're solid ball handlers, but they're not point guards.
No,
they're not going to make the right decision, and they do turn it over a lot. Absolutely. So they need a guy, and Marcus Smart, as good as he is as a defender and can hit some big shots, he's a good player. He isn't like a true point guard. He doesn't have that floor generalship to his game. He's just a tough, hard-nosed worker who's got some skills. And so that's what I'd be looking for. They thought Brogdon, remember, then they traded for Brogdon last year or brought him in. They thought he was going to be that guy. He wasn't. He was good, but he wasn't that guy. So I don't know where they find that, Rob, but that's what I'm looking for if I'm them. Because I don't think they need major, like Kristaps, I get it. He's not a huge name. He's not a guy that automatically takes you from one level to the next. So I get where you're coming from. But I don't think they needed a huge makeover. I think they just need a little more seasoning, a little tweak here and there, and see what they can do next year.
Well, that's fair. I mean, like they're not that far away, but I would still pick.
They're not tickling your fancy.
No, I would still pick Milwaukee, Chris, coming in. I picked Milwaukee. I'm not sure if I would pick Miami. I think unless they make a major move, Miami to me, Chris, feels like the Miami that went to the championship a couple years ago.
No,
right?
I agree. I wouldn't.
And
pick
then they
Miami.
fall back. You fall back again,
something.
right? And then got to make another comeback.
I think they'll be good, but I wouldn't pick them. Right now I'm looking at Boston or Milwaukee, but let's see what they do and what Philadelphia does. All right.